provide, and then we can take the session ahead. So my name is Soumya, and I'll be your host for this session. So Techcanvass is an IT certifications training organization for professionals where we help students to crack their certification exams in first attempt. We are IIBA endorsed and we are PMI authorized. So we provide certifications into CCBA, CBAP, ECBA, business data analytics, agile, and also project management certifications into PMP, CAPM. We also have domain courses into banking, finance, healthcare, and many others. So today we have Priya with us, who is a certified business data analyst and a Tableau desktop specialist. So she is senior data analyst with diversified professional experience of 10 plus years in business intelligence with an MNC, the public sector with Teach for India, and curriculum development with the lead school. So over to you, Priya. Welcome and thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Soumya, and a warm welcome to everyone for joining this session. So, let us get started and look at the broad areas of this webinar. In order to look at how to crack this certification from IIBA, we will first learn more about this certification. That is the cost, knowledge areas covered, recertification, and so on. We will have a short quiz after this as well. Then we'll understand the need for this certification, like why should you go for it? And we will finish off by looking at the smarter approach on cracking this certification successfully. Also, along the way, we will hear our Techcanyons, Techcanvass alumni share their experiences who have already cracked this certification in their first attempt. Right? So, all right, let's get started. So let us first understand what is this certification about, right? What is CBDA? So basically, there is a huge gap between business understanding and data analytics, right? So after extensive research, IIBA introduced this certification in 2019, recognizing the need for skilled business analysts who can lead different data analytics projects, right? So basically, data professionals like data analysts, data scientists don't have an in-depth knowledge of the business domain, right? So to ensure that the data analysis is carried out in line with what the business requires, right? What are the business needs? What is the business goal? We need to have a business data analyst who will have knowledge of both business and basic analytics. So basically, they will be kind of a bridge or a team in between data analysts who work on the data side and the business side, what the business needs, what is the business goal. So this certification certifies that you have the skills and competencies required to perform business analysis on analytics initiatives. So you know how to handle analytics projects end to end. You will lead the transformation of your organization and the decision-making process to be based on the data proof instead of just relying on, what feels right or going on based on what feels right to the intuition, right? So basically, before data and data analysis came into picture, it was all these decisions were based on what the higher management felt was right. But now with data coming in, we have data as a proof to take next steps or take concrete actions on different business problems. So this is a general gist of what is CBDA. So what are the competencies that you will gain, right? So there are different competencies like business data analytics. Then you will understand the techniques to formulate research questions. Research questions are nothing but the business goal, like what is the business looking to either solve or some new business opportunity, right? So what is the problem that we are trying to solve here? You'll understand the data analytics cycle, how data projects, what is the first phase, how does it progress to the next phase, and how do you end it. How to make data driven decision making. Different steps performed in data analysis. Once data analysis is completed, interpreting the results given by the data analysis, right? And making sure that they are useful for the business and can be implemented in order to improve the business. You will also learn about data visualization, using which you will communicate these analytical results to the business stakeholders. And yes, finally reporting the results and making sure the changes suggested by these analytical results are implemented in the organization. So as you can see, we will get a gist here that you will gain competencies for the entire end-to-end cycle, right from formulating the research question or what is the goal or business problem you're trying to solve, till the final reporting, wherein we will prepare the final report and implement the changes in the organization. Right. So let us first look at some certification information. So basically, in this certification, you will be tested on these 6 knowledge areas or domains, as they call. So IIBA has defined specific covers and converted that into approximate number of questions as well. So you'll have a total of 75 questions for each of these domain areas. So we will be looking at each of this area in detail and understand what is the role of a business data analyst in these knowledge areas as well, and what is the work that you will do as a BDA. Right. So let's look at the certification cost as well. So recently, IIBA has reduced their cost, right? Certification cost. So earlier, I think it was 450 and 575, if I'm not wrong. But now they have significantly reduced the exam fees as well as the exam rewrite fees. And so basically, you can see there are 2 columns here for members and non-members. So basically, the membership is given by IIBA, and you can look at the membership costs as well. So basically, if you are a member of IIBA, you will get access to a lot of different variety of technical content, support building, connecting with other business analysts, and access to different webinars, books, and all of that. So extra information will be available. So basically, if you look at the cost, the difference between the member and non-member is covered in the annual membership fees, right? So I think it would be best to become an IIBA member and get advantage of the added resources in almost the same cost instead of paying more as a non-member. You'll get access to a lot of different things which you can check out on their website. Also, you have to there's a recertification as well for this exam after 1 year, right? So we'll look at recertification in detail. So the recertification program basically supports the ongoing development of certified professionals, right? So it is done basically to encourage continuous professional development, learning, and the efforts to give back to the profession. So it offers a standard and objective mechanism for recording professional development activities, and also sustains the global recognition and value of this designation of IIBA CBDA. Right? So basically, you don't, as a recertification, you don't have to give the exam again. You have to make sure that you have these CDUs, continuous development units. So you need 20 CDUs. There are 2 branches, learning and applying, and you need to earn 20 CDUs within 1 year. Right? So you can find more details about what is covered under learning and applying streams on their website. So basically, the steps are very simple. You earn 20 CDUs, you enter the hours into their BA development log, pay the recertification fee, and submit the application. Right? So one good thing is you don't have to prepare for the exam once again and give it after 1 year. you just need 20 CDUs. So here are some examples of different CDUs from the learning and applying stream. So now let us look at the 5 practice domains that are defined by IIBA. And these are defined for successfully implementing business data analytics activities. And IIBA has developed this based on research with different organizations and different professionals as well, right? So basically, this covers an in-depth different processes involved in how a business data analyst will work in a data analytics domain. So basically, as you know, right, studying the enormous amount of data generated today, it can be very daunting. But specific techniques, competencies, and practices of business data analytics, they can be very beneficial in tackling these high volumes of data and getting insights from this data. So these are the 5 practice domains which are defined by IIBA: identify research questions, source data, analyze data, use results to influence decision making, and interpret and report data. So these are the 5 basic domains, and the 6th one is based on the organizational level, meaning how to develop the analytics strategy throughout the organization. But these are the 5 basic domains which you will use when you work as a BDA or a business data analyst in an analytics project. Right, so let us look at each of these domains in detail and understand the role of a business data analyst in each of these. So the first one is identify research questions, right? So basically, this is the first step of identifying the business problem or opportunity and provides the goal for the analytics initiative, right? So in this particular phase, the BDA plays a vital role in understanding the current organizational capabilities, meaning like whether the organization can undertake this initiative or the goal which is being targeted or not. Do they have enough resources? Do they have enough knowledge? Do they have enough budget and all of these things? So the business data analyst basically creates the vision for the desired outcome. So what is expected from this analytics initiative, right? That is what the BDA aims to create the vision for. For example, say the company's goal is to reduce customer churn, or say simple goal of increasing profits for particular categories. So whatever is the goal, the BDA creates a vision of how this goal looks like. And finally, this goal is converted into formulating research questions or problem statements. And these problem statements are nothing but those that will be solved using analytics with stakeholder collaboration, right? So basically, the research questions will be input to what the data analysts or data scientists are looking for, or they will be working on. So like, for example, predicting and preventing customer churn, or will customer engagement improve by introducing new promotions, and so on. So whatever is the business goal, the BDA dives deep into understanding the goal and formulating research questions for the data analytics team. So here a BDA, I would say, plays a vital role in creating these research questions, because if these research questions are not to the point or not correct, the entire analytics which is done after this and based on this will not be going in the right direction, right? So a BDA plays quite a vital role in creating or formulating these research questions. Again, a BDA does not do this alone, but it is done in collaboration with different stakeholders, business, technical, as well as non-technical. So once we have all our business questions and research questions formulated, the second stage is sourcing data. basically collecting or identifying data suitable for the business goal. And this business goal was defined in the earlier step, right? So this is the most critical and time consuming step, I would say, because correct and good quality data is mandatory for accurate analysis. So in this case, both business as well as data experts are required for this task. And at this stage, the business data analyst collaborates with the data scientist to understand and get the business perspective, right? The cost or the benefit analysis. Also, non-functional requirements like for data like privacy, security, etc. are considered. So, for example, collecting customer demographics, products, sales, promotions data. All of this data comes from multiple sources, right? And depending on what is the business goal, we will select what data is required for analysis and merge them into one data source for the further data analysis that is carried out. So here, the role of a BDA is in collaboration with the data professionals. Now, once we have accurate data, the data and scientists do the actual analysis of data at this next stage. That is the third phase, analyze data. So a business data analyst is not the data scientist, right? But they do all the groundwork before the analysis and after the data scientist provides the insights. So groundwork before this analysis is done and a processing of the results from this particular phase. So the BDA provides the business perspective for preparing and analyzing data, assessing the data models, and so on. So the data scientist will not have in-depth understanding of what business requires, right? What data fields are important for the business? What new fields should be created which will help solve the business problem? So they might not have this business perspective. So a BDA provides this business perspective and looks at this data analysis from the business lens. So this is a very critical part, because if it is not done by a person who has understanding of both business as well as data, a lot of points or important considerations might be missing from the analysis, right? So basically also we don't want to do data analysis blindly, right? But periodically check that the data analysis is going on in the right direction. So basically, that is what the business data analyst does here. So they assess the analytics results from the lens of the business goals, whatever results are given by this particular domain. Now, till this phase, our analysis is done. We have analytical insights. Now, the next step is interpreting and understanding those analytical insights and reporting the results to the stakeholders. So the results given by the data scientists have to be communicated to the decision makers or business stakeholders. But these results, which are given by the data scientists, they are very, very technical in nature. Now, obviously, business stakeholders won't be able to grasp these highly technical details or insights, right? So a BDA plays a very, very crucial role in this particular phase by translating the analytical output into the business language. And they do this using data visualization and data storytelling. So this makes basically data storytelling makes it more interesting, engaging for the business stakeholders. So they are not just looking at raw numbers or long texts, but something that is interesting, and it will help them make good decisions for the business. So the business data analyst also identifies and understands different stakeholders involved in this kind of communication, right? So who all need to be communicated, who all need to understand these analytical insights. So all this is done by the stakeholder. Is done by the BDA. So again, a very important domain for a BDA to work in, and is completely handled by a business data analyst. In this stage, that is, use results to influence decision making, the business data analyst presents the data insights in a way that will equip the decision makers to come up with business decisions. So basically, if you imagine that analytics, data analytics is done in a project, but in the end, whatever results are derived, the business stakeholders are not convinced with those results. So eventually, they will not be implemented in the organization, right? So the entire process is kind of a waste and not useful for the business, I would say. So here, the business data analyst kind of plays a very crucial role in correctly and concisely communicating the results to the business stakeholders so that they act on the decisions. It is not just that decisions are conveyed and no action is taken after that. That is meaningless. So a BDA plays a crucial role of communicating this. The proposed changes are drafted in a transition plan, along with time, effort, and cost estimates to implement those changes in the organization. And the BDA also identifies and mitigates factors that may result in resistance to implementing these changes. So, for example, some stakeholders might feel that, data analytics is not very accurate, and this is against what we are intuitively feeling, and hence it is not correct. So there can be many oppositions to the results derived by the data analytics team, right? So a business data analyst has to make sure that concrete proof is provided as to why he or she is suggesting some next steps to be taken. And finally, after all the approvals, the BDA leads the change management process, which might be across departments and processes. So you can see, again, a crucial role to implement these changes throughout the organization. So these are the basic 5 domains which are used in the business data analytics projects, and where a BDA works throughout the project. This last one is guide organizational business analytics strategy. This is about establishing analytics at the organizational level. So we look at 3 important factors: the organizational analytics models, like centralized or decentralized, the talent pool required to carry out these analytics initiatives in the organization, and lastly, the data strategy, how data is handled, right? So the data quality, how is it maintained throughout the organization, data cleaning methods, data security, data architecture, and so on. So I wanted to lay down a general understanding of what you will be doing as a business data analyst, and the multiple and exciting things that a business data analyst works throughout an analytics project. So yeah, don't just take my word, but let me introduce Aniket Joshi, a Techcanvass alumni. We congratulate him on his promotion from a business analyst to a data analytics product owner after getting certified. He shares how the CBDA techniques are helping him in his role. So because of some constraints of this meeting, you won't be able to hear him, but we've provided subtitles which you can read, and you'll also get links on the chat which you can access and listen to the audio. Right? So I'll just play it here. Okay, so yeah, that was Aniket Joshi sharing his CBDA experience. So yeah, before we move on, let's have a quick quiz here. So what I would suggest is I'll just number these domains as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it will be easy for you guys to type in the chat box. So I just want to understand your suggestions as to this first thing. Use data storytelling, right? This falls under which of these 6 domains that we just covered? So you can type your options 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in your chat box, and yeah, we can take it forward from there. So use data storytelling. Where do you think this will fall? Under which domain? Is it identify research questions or sourcing data, analyze data, interpret and report results, or use results to influence decision making, or the last one that we saw, guide organizational business analytics strategy? Okay, thanks, Namita. She says it's 3. Any other suggestions? Okay, let's take a look at where it falls. It falls under results, and getting the data insights. But in reporting, right, or communicating the results, we are using data storytelling as a technique. Okay, next one. Analyzing the skills required to make the organization data driven. So here we are talking about the entire organization. What are the skills required? Where will this fall? Under which domain? Okay, thank you everyone for your answers. Let's check. Okay, again, as here we are talking about the entire organization's data-driven skills, right? So this comes under guide organizational business analytics strategy for the entire organization. Okay, great. Next one, understand data from the business lens. So here we are understanding the data from the business perspective. Where do you think this will fall under? Any suggestions? Okay, let's check. So this will come under source data, where we are trying to get data, but we are looking at it from the business perspective. Next is vision of the desired outcome. In what stage do you think a BDA develops this vision of what is the business goal, desired outcome? Come on, guys, you can try. I mean, you can recall the domains that we just discussed. Any try is fine. I mean, it's just okay. Thank you so much, Sam. Okay, so this is the vision that we are talking about, right? So this comes under the very first stage of identifying the research questions. Here we understand what are we trying to solve, or what is the opportunity, business opportunity that we have, and we are trying to overcome it or solve it using analytics. Next is provide business context for data preparation. So here we are preparing data. So definitely one hint is it will be before analyzing data. Where do you think that will stand? Okay, let's check. It will be under source data, right? Because you are preparing data for the next step of analyzing it. Yeah, that's correct. Thank you, Namita. And the last one, propose actionable insights. So you are suggesting insights to the stakeholders here at this stage. Okay, thank you, Namita. You're perfectly right. Yes, it comes under the 5th domain, use results to influence decision making. Excellent. Thank you, and a great job. And thank you for trying. I hope this small activity was kind of interesting in between of all the theory that we've been covering. So, all right, let's move on to the next part of why you should go for this certification, right? So business data analytics basically bridges the gap. So business analysis and data analytics. These are the two domains, right? So, business analysis involves understanding the enterprise goals, problems, managing different stakeholder communications, facilitating informed decision making, and so on. On the other hand, data analytics is focused only on pure data analytics. And this is used to basically find data patterns, trends, data predictions, and so on. So, as you can see, there is a gap between business analysis focusing on the business side and the data analytics focusing purely on analytics. So, business data analytics, I would say, is kind of a bridge between bringing in the business perspective to the data analytics that is being performed. So basically, business data analytics is the bridge between the bringing in the business perspective and the new age business data analyst, right? So business analysts working in data analytics projects, they fill this gap between the business and the actual mathematical statistical data analysis, which makes such data initiatives successful. So IIBA, along with research with different organizations, they realized that a lot of data analytics projects were failing, or rather not reaching the expected goals. And one of the main reasons that they found was because there was this gap between business analysis and data analytics. So they came up with this role of a business data analyst who also understands the business side as well as has basic knowledge of what is data analytics, how is it done. So a business data analytics ensures that these projects are completed successfully. And they did see a lot of positive results after introducing this role of a business data analyst in such projects. So we'll look at that in detail as well. So now let's take a look at why this role has a bright future. So as you can see, this statistic is from IIBA Data Analytics Summary Report of 2021. So 2.8 times higher project failures are seen when business data analysis professionals are not leading the key data analytics practices. So the number one reason of why you should go for this role is a BDA role is a must in the organizations. This is what has been concluded with interactions from numerous organizations. Also, 85% of companies will have adopted big data analytics by 2022. So you will find many such examples online as well, like Uber, Amazon, YouTube, Adidas, Spotify, Marriott, Starbucks, Tesla, and there are so many examples wherein data analytics is being utilized in companies to drive data-driven decision making and come up with data insights for better business. So basically, more and more organizations are turning towards data-driven decision making. So this is the second reason. IIBA conducted a survey in 2021 of more than 4,000 professionals from 165 countries, from all levels of number of experiences, education, job titles, roles, salaries, and so on. So basically, these results cover a wide range of business analysts. So you can take a look at the percentages, right? I'll give you a minute to go through the slide. They're quite impressive, right? So basically, the third reason is that the demand shows a rising trend. So obviously, more and more companies are expecting business analysts to have these kind of skills to work in data analytics projects. So meet our next alumni, Ginan, and see how business data analytics knowledge is actually helping her in her role. So we congratulate Ginan on getting promoted from a Salesforce data analyst to a business data analyst. So let's rather read and hear what she says. You can get the links on the chat box. So I'll just start the video here. Okay, so that was Ginan sharing how CBDA helps her. Okay, so let's get a gist of this business data analyst's role. So basically, has knowledge and expertise in the end-to-end business analytics cycle, has an impressive mix of both business and data analysis skills, and is a key contributor to all steps of the business analytics cycle. So basically, you get to collaborate, engage, negotiate, coordinate, strategize, and do so much more. So, hence, I would say that it's quite an impressive role, right? And you get to put on many different hats at the same time in one role. So, you work on the people, organizational, and technical aspects in a project. So, yeah, again, feels and looks like an exciting role to me. So now let us go into more depth of why do you need to get certified, right? Why certification basically? So certification is a formal way of upskilling and understanding the best practices or standard processes. And certification from reputed organizations allow you to get shortlisted for an interview. So it gives confidence to the employers that this candidate genuinely has the mentioned skills, and it also gives you a purpose, a formal goal to achieve instead of just working on skill development. You have this purpose of clearing and passing this certification with good marks. Definitely, certification will not guarantee a job, but it will guarantee you an opportunity to showcase your skills and expertise, right? And certifications definitely pave the way for higher confidence, salary rise, and promotions. Some statistics here, as you can see on the slide from IIBA's 2021 Global State of Business Analysis Survey, which we discussed earlier. So 92% of respondents recommend certification to support their career development. That's a very high percentage, right? So basically, a certification is very beneficial considering all these aspects. Now, let's hear Efimina, our Techcanvass alumni, who is a business development strategist. He shares how CBDA has helped him grow in his career. So I'll just play the video. Great. So, I mean, his knowledge has helped him throughout the organization, right? Has helped different departments and different aspects of organizations, right? So, all right. So, let's move on to our next part of how to crack CBDA. What is the smarter approach? Right. So, let's look at the exam overview. So, IIBA has developed a study guide for the certification covering all domains and case studies, but it can be very overwhelming. So basically, an in-depth understanding of the concepts and case studies from a subject matter expert with industry knowledge, it makes a huge difference. So as you also know that the exam is weighted across knowledge domains, 6 knowledge domains, and the questions are scenario-based questions, right? They are not direct questions from the guide provided by IIBA. So you'll be given different scenarios and you'll have to apply your knowledge to understand the scenario and select the best answer. So just reading or memorizing the guide will not help, but you need to be able to apply those principles and techniques to the scenarios in the questions, and that too in a very limited time, right? So along with practice for scenario-based questions, time management is also essential, and hence mock tests play a crucial role in the preparation. So lots and lots of practice is necessary. So this exam is offered as an online remote proctored exam, but I believe you can go to a center and give it as well. There are no formal prerequisites for this exam, and the duration is 2 hours. Also, important thing is there are no questions on, machine learning, big data, programming, or other programming languages like say Python, R, and so on. All this is done by data scientists, and a business data analyst is not expected to create such kind of data models, but a basic understanding of analytics is required. So let's look at Aniket Joshi answering this question. Can people without any analytics background learn and gain from this certification? This is because this is a question that we get quite frequently, that, without any analytics background, is this, first of all, certification beneficial, and will I be able to do it? So let's hear what he says. Right. So basically, you don't need to have any analytical prerequisites before you, use this or apply this certification. So yeah, this preparation strategy, which we already discussed, right? So just reading the analytics guide given by IIBA is not enough and can be overwhelming at times. So getting guidance from an industry expert is quite crucial, along with lot of practice of the scenario-based questions which are asked in the examination. So let us look at the preparation strategy. So before the exam, practice as many timed mock tests, right? So the more tests you practice, more confidence you will get of what is your level of understanding, how fast you can, understand the scenario-based questions and come up with correct answers in the given time frame. Read the reference articles provided by IIBA. Prepare a schedule, right? So prepare a schedule of how and when you want to target the examination, what is going to be your study plan. So we also have a mock and model study plan created on our website. Then mind maps and cheat sheets for last minute preparation. They are very useful, and this comes from our alumni who have cleared the certification. That these two resources have helped them quite a lot in the last minute preparation before the exam. And during the exam, make sure you understand the scenario that is being asked in the question very, very carefully. Also read options carefully, because many times there will be two confusing options and you have to select one of the right one from these two options, and this is where understanding the scenario correctly comes into picture. Smart estimation, right? So there is no negative marking, and if you are confused what answer to choose, yeah, smart estimation is the way forward. Flag questions. So this is also very important, because you can flag questions which you're unsure about and revisit them once you finish all the other questions. This ensures that you don't spend too much time on a question which you're unsure about, and maybe not be able to complete rest of the questions which you already know. So flagging questions is very important and useful. And time management, yeah, this comes from practicing the mock tests, and as many mock tests as you can. So yeah, a general preparation strategy that is quite helpful. Again, this is based on my preparation strategy as well as the feedback that we've received from our alumni. Also, I would like you to hear Efimina share his preparation strategy. How did he prepare for this certification? So I'll play the video. Great. Yeah. So with his preparation strategy, he did ace his exam in the first go. So yeah, we do congratulate him. So yeah, let's look at the resources that we provide. So we have many valuable resources to help you in your journey towards not just, I would say, cracking this certification, but in order to also work as a business data analyst in the industry. So check out our YouTube channel, blogs, and LinkedIn pages for some fantastic resources. So for the CBDA training program, we have systematically designed study material beyond the IIBA guide. So As I said, we equip you not just for the certification, but also to be able to work in the industry effectively. So we have a training by an industry expert. We have the domain and competency matrix. So these are the different domains that we discussed and what are the competencies used. So this matrix helps you understand or basically get a gist of how they map together. Real life case studies. So case studies defined in the IIBA guide, right? So they are discussed and explained by the industry expert to actually understand how they are implemented in the organizations and not just the theoretical part. So basically, just reading from the IIBA guide will not give you that kind of information. We do provide a study guide for analytics and a reference library of different resources that will help you. We have 500 plus mock scenario based questions with explanations. We also have a performance report which will show you how your performance was on these exams and where you need more improvement. We have drills, puzzles, and flashcards to help you prepare. And as already discussed, a study plan and different mind maps. So and also some more exciting news. So we at Techcanvass are offering some discounts. You can check out more details on the website. So yeah, I will open up this session for any questions if we have. You can either unmute your mic and ask, or you can type in the chat box, whatever is convenient. Okay, we have a question from Namita. Can we switch to business data analytics after CBAP also? So again, see, what I would say is, as a business analyst, right, whatever certification and insight knowledge you have, you can use that knowledge in data analytics project. So it doesn't matter it is before after any certification or after any certification, but whatever knowledge you have gained from your experience from the CBAP certification, right, you can implement that in the business data analytics role. And I would say definitely, in the future, business analysts will work on more and more analytics projects. So you should be able to definitely switch. That is not an issue. Sam is asking a question. So is it that a BDA should only know visualization tools and no programming language? Also, what about growth? Okay, so a BDA definitely does not need to know programming languages like Python or R, right? So, but they need to have basic understanding of the different, for example, machine learning algorithms that data scientists work on, when to use which algorithm, so that they can effectively communicate with data scientists, because in the end, data scientists talk the data language, right? So you should have that knowledge in order to communicate with them. Definitely, data visualization tools is a must for BDAs, because that is where they will convert the analytical insights and communicate to the stakeholders. But no programming language is required. Also, growth-wise, right? So once you become a business data analyst, it opens the doors on both sides. So based on your liking, you can either pursue the business side or you can pursue the technical side, right? So you can grow and become a project manager or sales manager, or any kind of business side you can go and proceed to, or technical side as data analyst, data scientist. You can, based on your liking, you can choose the role that you need. So I would definitely say that business data analysts have a good career progression, and we've covered this career progression part in other webinars, which you will find on our YouTube channel. So you can take a look at those videos as well, so to understand in depth of what the career progression of a BDA looks like. Okay, Namita has a question. Do we need to have a specific years of experience to appear for CBDA? So as such, it is recommended that you have at least 2-3 years of industry experience, right? Doesn't matter whether it's in analytics or not, okay? That is not a mandatory requirement. But only thing is, IIBA is saying that if you have industry experience of at least 2 3 years, you know how the projects work, what are the different aspects involved in working on any kind of project, whether be it a technical or non-technical. But you have that kind of general understanding. So hence they suggest this experience of 2 or 3 years. Doesn't matter what domain, whether it's analytics or not, or whatever, any kind of technical experience is fine.
Any other question anyone has? All right, then. I think, yeah, this was the end of the session. So you can see on screen our contact details. So if you would like to enroll and inquire more, you can definitely get in touch with us. So we conduct webinars on every Wednesday and Saturday. So you can check out our events page and you can register. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Priya, for this great session. And yeah, hope to see you in the next webinar.
Thank you so much, Samya, and thank you everyone for joining this session. I hope this was helpful to all of you. Thank you so much.